Alright, this next video is called Are Men Slaves in Their Gender Roles? Do you think men are slaves in their gender roles?
No. That's what they're set up to do.
Okay.
That's how God made y'all.
Alright. Why is it doing this?
I think you should.
You just gonna grab the whole bowl?
Should men have the freedom to ditch their traditional gender roles just like women do?
Yes, absolutely. Why not?
I think that might limit them sometimes, but I feel like everyone should have freedom to do what they want to do, no matter what sex they are.
You should be able to have that freedom. Everybody should have the liberty to do whatever they want in a relationship. But is it frowned upon? Yes, for men. Yes, it is, of course.
What do you think that does to his dating options and why?
Well, they probably limits them by a significant amount if he's looking for women, but
I prefer a traditional woman. I want to take care of you, and I want you to take care of me emotionally, and I'll take care of you financially and physically. That's me. If you ditch that, you're probably going to get with someone who doesn't give a shit about you.
Women's gender roles originally were just to stay at home and be housewives, and men were to go to work, and they're still expected to do that and provide for the family, but women aren't, in a way, you know what I mean?
So does he actually have the freedom, or do women enforce these roles based on their selections in men?
I think it's a man's choice. And women, I think naturally women probably want to procreate, and so generally would reinforce it, but if a man doesn't want to do that, then it's his choice.
I think a lot of girls expect the man to provide and work while they stay at home, and if a man doesn't want to do that, then that it decreases his options.
What do you think that does to his dating options and why?
What does it do? I mean, it probably limits them because a lot of women have a different set boundaries, but I mean, once you find the person that is okay with it, it works.
So does he actually have the freedom, or do women enforce those roles based on their selections in men?
Probably enforce it because everyone has boundaries, but
So do you think that men are slaves to their gender roles?
I would like to say no, but then I guess you could turn around and think, are women slaves to their gender roles as well?
Well, yeah, but do you think that a woman has to cook and clean and do all those traditional things to be with men?
You think women? You think women are slaves to their gender roles?
I think historically, yes.
We're talking about 2026.
I still would say yes because once you have kids, the woman is expected to quit her job and stay at home and take care of the kids. A lot of women who, back in the day, we weren't allowed to work, but now when that happens, women are expected to quit on their careers and focus on their family.
You just said something though that just sparked in my head. You said back in the day, women you said back in the day women were slaves to their roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, wouldn't you say men were slaves to their roles too?
No.
Why?
Because as a man, you're supposed to go out and work. It's biblical to go out and provide for your family.
Okay. To
go out and make a living so that your family can eat. So that's just the way you were built. And if that's not if that's not what you're striving for, like she said, you're allowed to put up boundaries. It's I just don't want that type of man because you're not the manufactured type of man that a woman would expect to have.
So you're saying back in the day, men weren't slaves to their roles because that's something they're biblically meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
But so let me ask you this then: what were women biblically meant to do?
To be helpmates.
And what does that look like?
What does this have to do with to be a helper?
That's it?
What do you mean? A helpmate. That's the definition, to help.
To help what though? I'm just asking, to be a helpmate, how?
I don't know, ask Jesus. I don't know on that one. It can look different depending on the man.
Okay. So if you're saying women are meant to be helpmates,
mm-hmm.
Okay, let's fast forward to 2026. If women are meant to be helpmates and men are meant to provide, what if a man is not making enough to provide for both of us? Would you say women should be able to help by getting a job? I'm being for real. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious.
Okay.
You're supposed to be a helpmate, right?
So remember what we were saying when we said some men what if men don't want to do that?
Do what?
Don't want to leave the house and provide for their families.
Mm-hmm.
You are not. You shouldn't feel like a woman should have to get out and work for you because you're not making enough. Because as a helpmate, you already have the plan. You already have the vision and the goal. My job is to help you with ideas to get you there quicker, better, and more efficiently. Not to help you create the dream. Not to help you with the goal. You know what I'm saying? Not help you with, you already have it in your head. I'm just helping you with the steps to get there.
So basically not do anything physical. More so just...
No, that's not what I'm saying either.
Okay.
I'm saying if you a bum playing the game and you expect me to be like, you know what you should do? You should do this. You should already have the goal. You should already have the drive to go out and do something. And you tell me, I want to do this or have this as a business.
Mm-hmm.
And then a helpmate goes, you know how you can start doing that? You can do X, Y, and Z. And then when you get enough clientele, you can also do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? But not, you know what you should do for a business coach, Shema? You know how you should start off making some bread? I shouldn't have to do that because you're a man. That's not how it is.
So from what I just heard just now, you said basically y'all females should be a helpmate by giving ideas.
Oh my gosh, you're.
That's what you just said.
But that's an example. It's not a direct. Be all.
Every single example you gave though was you just helping out with.
You said how am I supposed to help me?
Every example you gave was just examples of you giving ideas to
because
anything.
what we're talking about is financial, right? We're talking about financial. You just told me. You don't think as a helpmate you should get up and go get a job and help me?
No, I'm not talking.
That's what I was responding to.
No. I'm not talking only in financials. I'm not talking only in financials. I'm talking in general. Because the whole topic is, are men slaves to their generals? So the question I asked you was, are women slaves to their generals?
Yes. Because once upon a time, women weren't even allowed to own things. She had to be with a man in order to even have something close to her name.
So 2026.
And if she didn't have a son, that just went to the next
man in
her family.
We know that. Yes, we know that. So now in 2026, are females still slaves to their generals? I know it says men, but are females slaves to their generals now in 2026?
I don't think they have to be, but some women are.
Okay.
Said women have to?
No, do you think that women have to do all those traditional things to be with men?
No. No.
So then wouldn't men be more likely to be slaves to their gender roles than women?
Then probably.
Why do people think male loneliness is self-inflicted?
Keep going.
If women's mate choice still overwhelmingly rewards traditional masculinity?
Yeah, unfortunately, women want the top 5% of men, and so that leaves just 95% of men with no choices.
Why do women complain about a gender pay gap if men typically have to earn more money in order to be chosen by women?
Because in today's day and age, women are single mothers, they live on their own, they're lesbians, and they also need to make as much as men do.
If a man doesn't want to be the provider, protector, or initiator in dating, is that attractive?
Ew.
It depends on who's, what the girl wants. But personally, yes, that's not attractive. That's
what she should say.
I would want a man to provide. I wouldn't want him to it depends. If he's just staying at home doing absolutely nothing, I wouldn't want that.
Because what do you mean? I'm sorry, bro.
That was a crazy spot.
That
to
was
pause
crazy.
there.
The pause you on. I
Hold
should
on.
have never did that. Sorry,
There we
black
go.
man.
There we go.
Juneteenth just passed. The fact that a question is even, what if a man doesn't want to protect and provide? You're gay. What? That's
You're
it.
right.
He's gay. Like, he wants another man.
You're right. You're right. I think he was just asking a question though.
He
He's
wants
not
another
like
man, genuinely.
he's
Like,
not
what
like
do you mean?
he's not like
Is that
thinking that's what it
attractive?
is.
Maybe to a man who wants to
Why are
protect
gender
and
roles
provide
optional
another
for
man.
women but mandatory for men?
I feel like they're optional for women because women have a idea that they don't have to do certain things if they don't want to do it. But men, you can have that same idea, but you just won't be chosen at the end of the day.
I don't think it's necessarily that way. I think that we're opening up more as a society for both roles. But yeah, probably the male traditional gender role is moving a little bit slower.
Why are gender roles optional for women but mandatory for men?
This is like waking me up. I'm not gonna lie. Like these questions are waking
That's
me
a
up.
good
I don't
question.
know. I couldn't.
Would you say
Why
that?
are-
Would you agree to that question? He said, "Why are
Would
gender?"
I agree to a question?
Would you? You know what I mean, bro. Why you always got to do that for?
I'm saying, what do you mean by that? Like,
The
please.
question he just asked. Would you agree that that is true or not?
Let me go back. Because I might have not heard you right.
For both roles. But yeah, probably the male traditional gender role is moving a little bit slower.
Why are gender roles optional for women but mandatory for men?
I see what you're trying to say, but can you elaborate? Because I don't.
Elaborate on what?
You said, "Do I agree with a question?"
Okay.
But the question isn't something. Set
I'm gonna
in
ask.
stone.
I'm gonna ask you the question. Act like I'm him saying the question.
I don't think it's necessarily that way. I think that we're opening up more as a society for both roles. But yeah, probably the male traditional gender role is moving a little bit slower.
Why are gender roles optional for women but mandatory for men?
Why are gender roles optional for women but mandatory for men? So a man mandatory has to provide, he has to protect, all those things, right? What are the gender roles for female? What, like probably cook, clean, take care of children, but that is optional, right? So why do you think that is? That's the question.
Because society now expects more from women. So the same way we back in the day didn't have to work and could do all the things that are put on us traditionally, we now have to do plus work, which is what y'all have been doing for ages. So we're stepping into y'all's roles. So somebody has to fill in that role as well. Excuse me. So that's why it's optional for us, because our role is continuously changing throughout time. Y'all role stays the same. It never changes. Protect and provide. For women, it was cook, clean, stay home, take care of the kids. And now it's actually get up and work. Actually, I've seen women outside mowing grass. Like, it constantly changes for women. So, for us, when it says, like, why aren't we traditionally the same, or whatever the question is, it's because we have more that is expected upon us. Y'all's roles never change.
So let me ask you this: back in the '60s or whenever, I don't know if it was the '60s, but back in the day when women weren't allowed to work, do you know that it was women who went on protests saying that they want to be allowed to work?
Yeah.
So it was women who decided they wanted that choice. And when given the choice, now you're saying that more was expected of y'all. That's what you just said.
More is expected of us.
Why? Because now y'all work?
Because if we are at home and we are only taking care of the kids, or we're with a man for not his money. We're with a man who has money. It's, oh, she's a gold digger. She doesn't do anything. She's just with him for the money. She just has a maid, yada, yada, yada. Whatever the case may be. And it's like, why didn't she... It's always going to be, if she's at home, it's why didn't she have a job? If she's working and she's not with the kids, why is she with the kids? But a man, there's no question. He does what he want to do. And if he with the kids, oh my gosh, he's with his kids that he created too. Such an amazing dad. How beautiful and amazing for him to have time for his kids. But let it be a woman, it's like, that's what you're expected. That's what you should already be doing. Does that make
I don't
sense?
agree. I don't agree with that. Honestly, you said if a guy is with his kids, then people are saying. I'm just going based off. I know you said a lot there, but I'm just talking about this specifically. You said if a guy is with their kids, people are gonna look at it and be like, "Oh, it's a
Such an
guy
amazing
taking care of his
dad.
kids." Da, 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 da. But if it's a woman with her kids, that's just what's expected. Okay. All right. On that part, I could agree with that. I agree with that with you. But there was something else you just said that I want to touch on. I kind of want to
Tear
go back.
this popcorn up. Get that away from me.
I kind of want to go back to what you said, to what I asked initially, though. You said back in the day, it was women staying home cooking because they weren't able to work. But now that y'all are able to work, why? And that's something that women wanted back in the day, and it led up to now. Why are y'all expecting to get some type of applause, or
Who's expecting an applause?
are y'all not expecting an applause?
No, we
'Cause
just
you're
want
saying-
men to put in the same effort.
So you're saying men aren't putting in the same amount of effort as women?
No, they're not.
That's what you're saying?
They're not doing the household and the financial work the same as women are.
What do you mean?
What I said, like, we don't want an applause. We just want the same effort that we're putting in now to be put in by the men. Same way we're taking care of the house and taking care of the bills.
Mm-hmm.
The man need to be taking care of the house just the same. That's it.
Okay. As far as like cooking and cleaning and all that type of stuff? So, do you think most men don't do that?
I know most men don't do that.
How do you know that?
Because most women are not happy in their marriage. Have you seen the divorce rate? Have you seen who's more likely to file up for a divorce?
Females.
Okay, you know why? Because
Why?
men get what they want. Men are complacent and happy in their marriage because the women are giving them everything they need, but the men is not giving the woman that in return.
Do you think that's the case in majority of marriages that have divorces?
I can't say that, but from the looks of it, it seems like it's a good majority. It's definitely not a minority.
So you think majority of the divorces that happen is because
I don't know that. I can't say that. I'm not gonna sit here and say something that I don't know the statistics on.
I mean, you kind of did just say that, though. You said that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, but I'm not saying without a doubt this is what's happening.
This is like waking me up. I'm not gonna lie. Like, these questions are waking me up. I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
What would it look like for men to fully opt out of traditional male roles?
Well, okay, honestly,
Out of traditional male roles.
I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
What would it look like for men to fully opt out of traditional male roles?
Well, okay, honestly, I feel like if they completely like switch sides, they would just be at home cooking, cleaning. But I think it should be equal. Like, I feel like both the woman and the man should be working, providing for the household, and also cleaning up as well.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment. If a man seeks freedom from his obligations, what do we call that?
Probably laziness.
Why is there a difference?
Because a man is like seen as like he's supposed to be doing this.
Do you think men are slaves to their gender roles?
Yeah, if you want to be a good husband or a good boyfriend or whatever role you're playing in your relationship, then I feel like you have to play that role and you have to play it well.
I feel like men should be slaves to a point. I don't mean slaves in a negative way. I mean, make your woman happy, she'll make you happy. If for some reason you're not understanding the gender roles, it's probably why you're not happy, in my opinion.
Who enforces gender roles more, men or women?
I feel like women do.
How?
Women, they say that you're supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, and I feel like men, on the other hand, are pretty much just relaxed and laid back. Now, a lot of traditional men may enforce it, but I feel like women overall more likely to enforce those gender roles.
Why are gender roles strictly enforced in straight relationships as opposed to same-sex couples?
I'm not sure about that. I think the gays have it absolutely, they have the best situation possible open relationships, everyone's happy. I don't quite understand why it's different in traditional relationships.
I think women will prefer for the man to do everything and like pay for things that need to be paid for. But when you're dating same sex as I am, it's kind of just like, oh, okay, you're paying, I'll get you next time. Okay, you're paying, you're buying me this, I'll get you next time.
When women go out with women, they'll often split the bill and hold the door open for each other. Why is it as soon as a man's involved, he has to do all the work?
I think women consider it more respectful for the man to do the things for the woman because of traditional habits.
Wouldn't it be polite and respectful for women to do all the same things for men?
Yes, like me as a woman, I do the same things for my guy friends and things like that. I think it would be a lot more respectful.
If a man ditches his gender roles, does that make him a woman?
No, I don't think it makes
If a guy ditches his gender roles, does that make him a woman?
If you walk like a duck, you talk like a duck.
Type shit.
him a woman per se. It's just what he chooses to be.
Oh man, if you ditch your gender roles, I mean it's literally called gender roles. If you're not doing your role as in your gender, then I guess you're not that gender anymore.
If a woman ditches her roles, does that make her a man?
No, absolutely not. No one says that.
I feel like women have more of a say-so in this because a man is more prepared to take care of himself, whereas women feel like sometimes they want to be taken care of. They don't need to be. Let's not get that twisted, but sometimes women want to be more than men.
What happens to relationships if both partners reject traditional roles?
I think it's fine.
Then I guess we just have a completely different culture and society, and that's probably where we're moving.
If equality is the goal, should expectations decrease for everyone or increase for everyone?
I think
Increase.
I don't know. I think maybe decrease, and I feel like everyone should be doing the same thing.
Do we judge men more harshly for not fulfilling roles than we judge women?
Of course.
Why is that?
I feel like men have a certain stigma over them that if you don't do what a man is supposed to do, whatever that's supposed to mean to you, then you're not a man.
So how are men not just slaves to their gender roles?
That is true. That is very true.
What would it look like for men to fully opt out of traditional male roles?
I think you would see more men in like childcare, in traditionally feminine workforces. That'd probably be a big one.
We would have less roads and less buildings and less construction in general, less sewage, less of a lot of things that men do to build this community.
Would society function differently if large numbers of men stopped protecting and providing?
Well, yes, I think it would. I mean, well, I think that women are obviously working more within the last 70 years and conforming to, what was traditionally seen as a male role. And so it's just we are constantly changing. Culture is constantly changing. Roles are constantly changing. So nothing's traditional anymore.
Do people still prefer traditional male behavior even while saying roles shouldn't matter?
Yes, I think deep down for many people they do, although I think there are parts of society that are changing, but women do appreciate assertive men. We prefer men that take care of us. Yeah, a lot of women do.
Is there a difference between what we say we believe and what we reward in practice?
Actions speak louder than words.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment. If a man seeks freedom from obligation, what do we call that?
A lot of people would like to call it cowardice.
Not attractive.
Why might those reactions be different?
It depends who you're talking to and probably where you're from.
Because
He's saying if a woman seeks independence, but using the word obligation, like you're obligated, meaning you're supposed to be doing it. Like that's your job. Being independent as a woman is a lot different from a man going against his obligations. So I feel like off rip.
Hold on, let me listen to the question again.
Between what we say we believe and what we... Woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment.
If a man seeks freedom from obligation, what do we call that?
So I think he's correlating independence and obligation together. So like if a girl is independent, that's like her not having
Obligation
Let me hear it again.
is a course of action that a person or
required to
entity
take.
is required to take.
Is there a difference between what we say we believe and what we reward in practice? We call it
My
empowerment.
bad.
Actions speak louder than words.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment. If a man seeks freedom from obligation, what do we call that?
A lot of people would like to call it coward.
If a man seeks freedom from obligations, so from doing the stuff he has to do as a man, provide, protect, do the.
And if a woman seeks independence, meaning make her own money,
Right.
take care of herself, and not rely on a man, those are two different things.
You think so? Let me hear the question one more time, because it probably is.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment. If a man seeks freedom from obligation, what do we call that?
A lot of people.
What do you mean by that?
Because how don't you understand the difference in that?
Can I hear the question again to really think about it?
Go ahead.
Actions speak louder than words.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment. If a man seeks freedom from obligation, what do we call that?
A lot of people would like to call it cowardice.
Not attractive.
Why might those reactions be different?
It depends who you're talking to and probably where you're from.
Because if a man runs from responsibility, people see it as him running from his role. And if a woman seeks freedom, it's empowerment because, like I said earlier, other women like to stick beside other women. And a lot of men won't do that because they'll frown upon other men for doing exactly that.
Should fairness mean equal rights, equal
Honestly, that question,
I think I'm understanding what he's trying to say.
he's trying to point out, like, okay, if a female is independent, that, like you said, that means she's making her own money, doing everything on her own. But if a man is running away from his obligations of taking care of his family, providing all these different things, that's looked at as just regular. That's what he's supposed to do. So I don't know if he was trying to correlate both of the questions and say this is the same thing. He was just asking what did he say? It was a specific
Which
word
one
he said.
would be, I don't know, I forgot.
He said which one? Hold on, I'll play it one more time.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment. If a man seeks freedom from obligation, what do we call that?
A lot of people would like to call it cowardice.
Not attractive.
Why might those reactions be different?
It depends who you're talking to and probably where you're from.
Because if a man runs from responsibility, people see it as him running from his role. And if a woman seeks freedom, it's empowerment because, like I said earlier, other women like to stick beside other women. And a lot of men won't do that because they'll frown upon other men for doing exactly that.
Should fairness mean equal rights, equal responsibilities, or both?
Honestly, I think because females are historically they were looked at to just be taken care of by their husband. Because now that females could be independent, and shy away from the historical traditional role of a woman, it makes it seem like they're equal to men in the way of taking care of their own obligations. Does that make sense? But I don't know. That is a weird question. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a both situation. I mean, equality just means, the freedom to be able to be who you want to be.
At what point does unfairness become injustice?
When it actively affects how you can live your life.
Can you define the word emasculate?
Emasculate, like strip a man of his masculinity.
Emasculate means to deprive a man of his male role or identity.
Yeah.
So is emasculating men humiliation or liberation?
I don't know what liberation is.
Freedom.
Freedom?
I feel like it's both because, like, you're liberated from the normal male roles, but at the same time, you're humiliated because someone doesn't feel like you can take on those male roles.
Yeah.
If a man doesn't want to be the provider, protector, or initiator in dating, is that okay?
As long as you're upfront about it and you're on the same page.
Protector or initiator in dating, is that okay?
You big dude behind him?
No.
As long as
Want to be the provider, protector, or initiator in dating, is that okay?
What is he
That's
doing?
okay.
As long
That's
as
a
you're
lady?
upfront about it and you're on the same page, do what you want.
If a woman prefers not to cook, clean, or be nurturing, most people accept that. Should the same acceptance apply to men in reverse situations?
Like I said, I think it depends on your partner. You know, I love cooking for my partner. It's really all about if you're communicating.
Do we judge men more harshly for not fulfilling roles than we judge women?
I think men judge themselves harsher.
Why
I
would
think-
women
I think
appreciate?
we do judge men more harshly for not fulfilling the roles, but I think that's rightfully so, though. But do you think I'm gonna flip the question. Do you think we should judge women for not doing their roles rightfully, or not doing their roles harshly?
Do I think that we
My
should
bad.
judge
I said it.
women?
I said that question completely wrong. I'm trying to frame it like how you said it.
It's really all about if you're communicating.
You gotta go
Do we-
back more.
Acceptance apply to men in reverse situations?
Like I said, I think it depends on your partner. You know, I love cooking for my partner. It's really all about if you're
This
communicating.
next one.
Do we judge men more harshly for not fulfilling roles than we judge women?
I think men
Do we judge men more harshly for not fulfilling their roles than we judge women? So do you think we judge women more harshly for not fulfilling their roles? Or no?
Do you think we as a people or we as men?
We as people. Do you think we as people judge women harshly for not fulfilling
I
their
think
roles?
as people we're gonna judge regardless. I don't think there's a more or less. It's just judge or be judged.
Okay.
judge themselves harsher.
Why would women appreciate the sacrifices men make when men are required to make those sacrifices to be with women in the first place?
I don't think they're necessarily required to. It's a choice because of what attracts women.
But there's a lot of girls out there that say they want all this and all that, but then they still get them with a man that like does absolutely nothing, stays on the couch, you know.
Why does modern relationship often mean modern privileges for women but traditional obligations for men?
Because that's evolution.
Would society function differently if large numbers of men stopped protecting or providing?
Yeah.
How so?
Because a lot of women now expect the man to buy them expensive things, provide, spend a lot of money on them, you know, wife them up, have kids, while they do absolutely nothing. Well, they clean the house, you know, make sure everything's done, while they just provide all the money.
Can true equality exist if only one side can safely reject expectations without social or romantic punishment?
Okay, so I think that kind of a question is something that will evolve over time. We think one way now, but in 20 years we might think completely different culturally.
Where do you think we're headed?
I think we are headed into a much more open society, a much more blended society in terms of race, ethnicity. So yeah, everything is just becoming more open.
Would society function differently if large numbers of men stopped protecting or providing?
Yes, society would function differently.
How so?
I feel like there would be an overwhelming amount of men that would just lay comfortably or be comfortably in a relationship and not want to do anything. And women wouldn't be okay with that. And I feel like a lot of relationships wouldn't be in existence today.
What would a genuinely role-neutral society look like for men and women?
It would mean that you could do anything as a career that you would want to do, and it would like men just staying home, more men staying home than women to take care of kids.
Do people still prefer traditional male behavior even while saying roles shouldn't matter?
Yes, people do prefer traditional male behavior because that's what you're used to seeing when you're growing up.
Is there a difference between what we say we believe and what we reward in practice?
Yes, there is a difference in what we say we believe. A lot of people believe in freedom in a relationship, but at the same time, they want someone to be a traditional male or traditional woman in a relationship.
Do you personally support men having the same freedom to redefine themselves that women have gained?
Yes, absolutely, but not my husband.
Why not?
No, my husband needs to work.
What's one expectation on men you think should change and one that maybe shouldn't?
I think one expectation of men that should change is that they should always be the ones to pay for things and like take control of the house. I think that women can also, treat their man, because I'm in a lesbian relationship, so we like to treat each other, One that I think shouldn't change is a woman just like getting things done for her husband sometimes. Like, I understand, like, you want to come home to a clean house, the dishes done, dinner, things like that.
And lastly, if the rules were rewritten from scratch today, what would be the fairest standard for everyone?
That both men and women can both work, and it's not like one has to work and one has to clean the house.
So you would basically say that gender roles should kind of just disappear for everyone, you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that most women would find that attractive, though?
No.
I ain't gonna lie. I wonder where he get these questions from. Because some of the questions
They sound like rage bait questions.
They don't sound like rage bait questions. I feel like they sound like questions you really gotta think and understand exactly what he's asking. Because it could be a bit like confusing. I don't know. That wasn't a bad video though. All right, let's get into a new one.